everybody, and welcome to the Big T today. I'm Frank Vespi from the Racing Biz, theracingbiz.com, joined by track announcer and best in the business, Dave Rodman, to my left, and you out there. Timonium starts today, Dave. It is a perfect day here for it, August 26th. Weather doesn't get better than this. We got a pretty nice card teed up. We got a stake tomorrow. We got Hall of Fame Day next Saturday. We got a lot of things to do here.
Yeah, big meet coming up. 3 days this weekend, 4 days next weekend here at the Big T. Of course, the Ferris wheel spinning around. The Ferris Allen wheel spinning around in its usual place. Go take a ride over there at the fair and get your funnel cakes and your turkey legs, and this year your pickle pizza. I might have to try it. Pickle pizza. Yeah, it's pizza. It's pizza with pickles on it.
Oh my!
Yeah.
Well, that is
innovative, I would say. Yeah.
Well, if we're gonna buy some pickle pizza, we got to make some money here on this 9-race card. So maybe let's dive right in. Race 1, early double. Lots of good ways to spend your money here and hopefully make a buck. Maiden 5's going a mile, 3 turns. And it looks like we both landed on the same horse, Dave.
Yeah, well, the 7, Awesome Dynamo, is a scratch out of the first race. Take out the 7. That was my top pick. So I now defaulted into a horse that I think is going to be a little closer to the pace today, judging from his race at Pimlico May 19th. This Drum and Bass, Liam's Map, dropping for the nickel here after the Big Daddy DR Sprint at Laurel Park. And projecting him much closer today to get the job done. Heroic Deed in here, 0 for 18. Maiden looking to turn the trick today in the 19th try. An Only Child, horse who's had a couple of races around 2 turns that might benefit him with this 3-turn mile here at the Big T, coming back. It's Bouqueval from... that's Only Child from the Michael Gorham barn. And on the outside, Byron's Gold just thrown in the mix. But I think the 4 and the 5 are your main contenders here. I'll pick Drum and Bass on top, Base on top. That's you too, right? 4 or 5.
Yeah, I'm with you on Drum and Bass. I'm with you on Heroic Deed. Particularly, I think the race 2 back for Drum and Bass was a sneaky good race. He broke out, he rushed up, was in a perfect spot with a quarter to go, and then just ran out of horse because of his early exertion. So.
And a winner out of that race 2 at Charlestown. Looks to be in a good spot today to kick off the meet with a win from the Farrier barn.
All right, so we're both going 4-5-3 in race 1 here at Timonium. Second race. Let's just move quickly today, shall we? Second race is claiming fillies, 10,000 never win 2, going 6.5 furlongs. That is a 2-turn trip here at the Big T. And we are not in the same place here, Dave, but why don't we start with your top choice? That's Martha Rita for Kieran McGee. Well,
Kieran McGee barn's been red hot. Big move last time out at the 8th pole, as Clem Florio used to call him, an 8th poler, right? Horse makes the lead at the 8th pole in contention, flattens out a little bit, come back the next time. Goes to Carlos Lopez today. He's been riding regularly for the Kieran McGee barn. He had several calls in the race, and this was his first call. Comes off a good effort, I thought. It wasn't visually an impressive race there by Candy Corner, Martha Rita, nor Cage Pixie, but I think this 6.5 will hit him right in the perfect spot today. Hit it right in the perfect spot. Get a good trip there, and the clean on the outside, maybe about 2-3 path by the time they hit the final quarter mile.
Yeah, and it's worth noting, Kieran McGee only ran 5 horses here at the Big T last year, 4 winners and a second.
Yeah.
So he came loaded for bear when he came.
Like 80%, right?
There you go. Hey, you're good at math.
I think.
He's going to run more here at this year, but like I say, he was loaded for bear. Now, I'm using Beautiful Gem here. This is an interesting horse, the 5 horse. She's a 5-year-old mare, didn't make it to the races until July 20th of her 5-year-old season, which is older than just about 100% of horses when they make it. Really a pretty professional debut, front-running score, first time out of the box. 2 horses have come out of that to win their next race. She's got to step forward here, there's no question about this, but this is a good way to start a career, especially if you're waiting until they're 5. A little bit green in the lane, but I think a normal second race improvement puts her right there at maybe a square price.
Yeah, well, Rational Millennial comes out of a Sweet Talia race, and I think she's kind of a use. She had to be rushed up the 2-horse Rational Millennial in race 2, inside down the backstretch. Maybe not the proper way she wants to be ridden. Maybe a little bit more patience. So Walter Rodriguez, you can't get too far back here at the Big T, but I think with a little different style of ride today, she can certainly pull an upset in here in the second race. Nice 8-1 morning line from Keith Fustel on the Corrales Rational Millennial.
Yep, I agree. The rider lost the whip in mid-stretch. It had kind of a crowded trip. They was always sort of in and among horses last time. Like to see maybe a little cleaner trip, but that was a decent try. There's nothing wrong with that effort. That horse figures in race 2. Now, moving on to race 3. That's going to be 3-year-olds and up that have started for a claiming tag of 25 or less, which have never won 2, or claiming 32 and never won 2. They're going 6.5. That's 2 turns again here at the Big T.
Well, with Mad Genius out, the 7, and the 10 Most Perfect, that really threw my picks into the washer-dryer cycle. I mean, I had to redo it.
Totally with you.
Because I really liked Mad Genius in the spot, but for some reason he's out. Most Perfect getting the blinkers on. Thought it was a long shot. So I kind of picked around other horses that I thought had a chance. I'm defaulting into Razor Spites, though not in love with this horse. And
right.
I see, right, you've got the horse on top, too.
Yeah, exactly the same. First time in the McGee barn, claim off of Brittany Russell. He's got Almodovar up, who is a good bullring rider. He mostly rides at CT. But I'm like you. I loved Mad Genius here. I loved a decent price on Mad Genius. I'm not getting Mad Genius because he's scratched.
Well, Razor Spite's probably gone to the front. You know, if you've seen him run in previous times, he looks like he just waits to be plucked off at the end by somebody. and you know, I think maybe a good long shot in here. Hidden form on Royal Spy, who was originally thinking could be in the mix, but with Most Perfect out of the race now, I think gives him a little bit better shot. Had trouble last out, race before that. Nobody was beating Synergy Star, who ran probably the best race of his career in the restricted allowance on July 15th. And 3 back with blinkers for the first time. Went very quick in the 1-turn mile here at Laurel Park. I think he'll project him much closer to the pace than you see in his form today off those 3 races. Royal Spy, a live long shot.
Yeah, I didn't use Royal Spy, but I can't begrudge you using him. I went with the Liberty Star underneath for Lacey Gaudet, making 3rd start off a layoff. I feel like this horse has been keeping pretty good company, and the horse that won his last outing turned around and won an A other than allowance at Delaware next time out. So that looks to have been a decent heat, and I feel like this horse can maybe move forward just a little bit, and that would probably be good enough.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's possible if they get aggressive with him, he could be the one to put the pressure on Razor Spites, you know. So that's what I think, maybe hoping for somebody from right off of it in here. The 3 looks like the one to beat. We both agree on the top selection. After the scratches. And race 3.
Not that we're bitter about that. We're totally not.
No, I'm not a bitter buddy boy. How about the 4th race?
All right, 4th
No changes, no scratches.
No scratches.
Right.
So we're stuck with the horses we actually picked. So it's going to be claiming 16, another going 6.5 furlongs, fillies and mares that have never won 3, or straight 3-year-olds. And that's the angle I went to here. The straight 3-year-old who's already won 3 races. That's Shiny Penny, the 1 horse. And, you know, that last time out, it just kind of felt like this is a horse. Actually, 2 back. I thought was a really good effort for this horse on the mud. It's going to catch a fast track here. This is a horse that prefers a fast track. And I feel like that 2 back try, as I was saying, was a lot better than it looks. Took a sound bump out of the gate, was left with a lot to do. Kept trying all the way to the wire, which is the thing you really like to see.
I went with an in-form filly who's getting Barbosa back aboard. Sweet Talia, he's familiar with the Sam Smith trained filly. He's been a boarder for 3 of her last 4 runs, including disappointing effort there on the turf against much tougher. But turning back to the sprint, I thought he gave her a perfect ride last time out, getting familiar with her, making the selection of the 6 Sweet Talia to turn the tables on Strand of Pearls, the 2 from the Brittany Russell barn. Last time they met, Strand of Pearls beat Sweet Talia, mixed best bet yet. But that was on a sloppy track 2 races back. Today, fast track, I think perhaps a little bit vulnerable in here. Kind of like the 6 Sweet Talia in this spot. She'll be on all my tickets.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I use the 6 a little bit. I mean, I also, well, as I said, I threw and we both use the 5 a little bit at the bottom here. Just throw that out. This is a horse that's 6-1 morning line. Has won. I guess my question with this horse was the distance. Has won at 7 furlongs at CT. So likes the bull ring. Has done this far or farther before, but recent tries not so good going longer distances.
Yeah. So who's going to be on the lead in this race? I mean, projecting here, this on the go.
Might be Strand of Pearls, eh?
Or wouldn't it be?
Yeah,
I guess I guess that would be. And your top pick is Johnny Penny and the Wayback Machine. You know, has some speed to run with her.
Yep.
So it'll be an interesting pace scenario in race 4.
All
How
right.
about the 5th race?
5th race?
Like Phil
Dave.
Georgieff said many, many moons ago at Arlington and Chicago, hey, we've got ourselves a match race. Because
we didn't want
and
one.
We literally do.
We literally
Yeah,
do.
here.
We didn't want one, but we got 3 scratches here, claiming 10, going a half mile. That's the only one-turn trip we have here at Timonium. And, yeah, I was going to take a stand against the favorite, but the favorite is scratched. The horse I was going to take a stand with also scratched. Everybody scratched but the 4 and the 5. Or,
Yeah.
as we see it, the 5 and the 4.
Yeah, I guess we're both anti-Chardonnay people, huh? What's the matter with you?
Yeah. More of a Pinot Grigio type. you know.
Yeah. So, Kimmy Chardonnay going to be the favorite of the 2, right?
I guess.
No, I mean,
I don't know.
but she just may have found her field today to get the non-winners at 2. But I thought Lost Anchors
May have found a field. That is one rival.
with one rival. But Lost Anchors race, you go back and look at it at Charlestown, maybe enhanced by the sloppy track, but this horse actually got headed in mid-stretch, showed a little bit of grit, and came back, had to fight for the win. And the buyer number, if you're just judging by that, actually better than Kimmy Chardonnay's last couple of races. So I'm just hoping that Lost Anchor can stay right off of Kimmy Chardonnay, and Kimmy does what Kimmy does. And here comes Lost Anchor. But I don't know. I just thought I'd pick the higher price in the match race.
It's a match race. What are
My
you gonna
long
do?
shot
Yeah,
play,
long
right?
shot play of the day is
yeah.
the other horse.
The other horse. Anyway, let's move on since it's only a 2-horse field. 6th race, scratch 2, 3, and 9. Yeah, pretty much stuck with my original picks here with the blinkers on. Fishers, the Brittany Russell barn. Last 2 years on the dirt, blinkers on. Brittany Russell, 29%. Comes out of a good race at Delaware, won by a debut runner, Nymph. Runner-up came back to win. 2 races back, produced a winner. Was opened a little lead in that race 2 back. Seemed to be cruising. Was headed and went, okay, go. But
I'll see
actually
you later.
was trying all the way down to the line to try to come back. So the blinkers going on today, maybe to improve the concentration of this filly.
Well, and the show horse, that 2-back race, came back to win. This one, they liked what they saw enough to move her up into special weight company. Now you're back down on the drop, back into maiden 25s. It's a totally logical spot for this horse. I think there's every reason to think this horse ought to graduate today.
Divine Fashion, both in our top 3 here. I got him second. You got a third. Angle, first time blinkers on the dirt. Caught a few price horses that way in my life. You know, people kind of ignore that.
Oh, yeah, because they added blinkers last time on the turf, switching back to the dirt.
Horse has been only dirt one time against Hoodooland. That was a pretty quick race against Maiden Special. So it's first time blinkers on the dirt on the drop.
Yep. No, I didn't drop it out of maiden 40s and maiden special. Has run down at this level, did that several starts ago at Laurel on the turf. Obviously, this is a logical horse.
Sell me on the horse Tilted Tiara. Ran 5 days ago.
Ran 5 days ago. So Claudio Gonzalez, the trainer, this is a horse that ran maiden 30s at Laurel, so slight drop in class there. Really meaningless drop, I'd say. But Claudio, 13 for 54 running horses back and 1 to 7 days last 5 years. 3 for 10 with maidens doing it.
And that was a blinkers on 5 days ago. Ran
Yep.
big, opened up, and just got beat. And kind of a race where any one of 3 could win it at the 16th pole. It wound up in a dead heat. the final, I believe, that was the final race of the meet, right, at Laurel on Sunday.
Yeah. So I feel like that was a pretty good try. Showed good speed, which is always useful here at Timonium, and I don't think Claudio's running this horse back if he doesn't think she's sitting on a race.
Yeah. So some angles there. A lot of blinkers angles there. First time blinkers with the 4, first time blinkers on the dirt with the 6, second time blinkers on a horse that ran 5 days ago.
We got just blinkers everywhere. It's all about the
I
blinks.
should try that handicapping. Maybe a pix will be better.
All right, 7th race. Starter allowance, 5 starters.
Great
going
race
6.5.
here. Really good race.
This is a fun race.
Yeah.
Beverly Park, who is the favorite, who's the horse we're both using, is an absolute war horse, Dave.
Yeah, I'm going with 6, though, the Wolfman.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a little.
Okay.
The 6 is kind of gray, not black on the screen.
Gotcha.
I was looking at that myself.
A little hard to see.
Maybe
okay.
it's just my eyes.
No, go. Yeah, the Wolfman. The Wolfman he totally fits in this company.
Well, Beverly Park, first of all, has won 9 races this year. I believe the winningest horse of 2022. If my
he's certainly got to be the racingest
is
horse.
Correct. Exit Right, Big Invasion. Exit Right's won 7. Big Invasion, a Teddy Bear turf horse, has won 6. But they run them anywhere. Colonial, Delaware, Belterra, Thistledown, Churchill, Monmouth, Charlestown, now Timonium, Laurel. How many tracks has he run at this year? That's
pretty much all of them.
Pretty much all of them.
He's run 29 times in the last year, like the last 365 days.
Wow. The horse to beat.
Absolutely.
I'm going to think that the Wolfman, though, is run against a little bit better the last couple starts. Rockefeller is a tough 9-year-old. He ran 3rd against the aforementioned Synergy Star I mentioned earlier in the day, who ran pretty much his career best there on July 15th. He's got the speed to stay close. And the question is, if Beverly Park decides to go to the lead, and he's been up front, can Jetting Out, the 2 horses that's in really, really good form right now, first off the claim from the Brooks Barn, put some kind of pressure on him, maybe soften him up a little bit. Or maybe even Oxide, an old Oxide, make a bid to him into the turn. I would think his main speed rival will be just to his outside there, Jetting Out. I don't think Geron Barbosa is going to mess around too much. He's going to test him at some point with the 2.
Yeah, I obviously neither of us use the 2. The 2 may be a pace factor, should not be around at the end. But I think it's interesting. One quick thing on Beverly Park, that last race, that was a legitimate 2 other than at Colonial Downs. The dirt races there can be a little in and out. That was a good group of horses. And Beverly Park basically got left and came running a little bit at the end. That was a sneaky good effort. But I want to talk about Oxide because it's a horse we're both using prominently in our exacta, and it's a horse that's 10-1 on the morning line.
Yeah. Off it, time away for Lacey Gaudet. It was a Gaudet reclaim. This horse has been in their barn before. They've had some success with him, claimed out of their barn. It's been in Ness's barn, Kieran McGee, but they seem to have gotten him back into a good semblance of form with a 5-length score last time out. And he's run much faster in the past, back as a younger pup.
Well, and I like, they're coming off a long layoff. There are things you could do with this horse. They decide to protect him here. They put him in starter company where he can't be claimed. This horse is working very fast, including a bullet move last time. It all suggests to me that they really like how this horse is coming around and coming out of this break. And so I think he's an interesting horse and a horse that needs to be on the ticket.
All right, you're going with Beverly Park. Certainly could have done that. I'm going with the 6 in there. Clap for the Wolfman.
Yeah,
guess who? 1973.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah,
there you
right.
All right, the the 8th race, the feature, optional allowance, optional claimer, A other than for 2-year-olds. And here's a way to prep for Timonium you don't often see, running in graded stakes at Saratoga. That would be the 6 horse in here. That's the favorite, Prove Right.
Yeah. Prove Right, running against Oxymore and the Skidmore. Most Strike, way over. That actually didn't run a bad race. He was in contention down the backstretch for a while in the Grade 3 Stanford. Coming back here on a pretty short rest as well, ran August 19th. But trainer James Chapman, with this layoff, a little stat at the bottom of the form caught my eye there and researched it further. 1 to 7 days away. In the last couple of years, 8 starters, 4 winners, 50%. He's done it at 4 different racetracks, at Mahoning Valley, Hawthorne, at Mountaineer, at Belterra. So now making a look at looking to make it 5 out of 9 and another track as well, adding another one to the tally. Looks to be the class, so to speak, of the race.
Yeah, I mean, this is obviously a big drop from the kind of horses that he's been seeing. In fact, the Sanford, the winner there was a $325,000 Uncle Mo, who's now 2 for 2 for Brad Cox, whose horses win graded stakes everywhere. So
if he's a no-show, I guess we'd land up on Pompous Prince.
it looks like we both did. Nothing wrong with what this horse has done. He's won 2 back pretty nicely at Laurel. At Colonial ran 3rd after pressing the pace. That was also a first try with Lasix on. So this will be second Lasix, which sometimes is a positive angle.
Yeah, good effort, too, with that first Lasix behind Riccio, who's got 2 wins now with a couple of mid-50 buyer numbers, which would kind of stack up as being the next best horse. Should prove right, not show up with his A game today. So same top 2 picks, 6-1. Don't think it's a surprise there. Can we foresee any kind of a complete upset in here?
I think if you're looking to beat the horses that are even money in 2 to 1, to me the most likely horse to do that was Coffee with Chris, who caught a pretty good group of horses last time in the Hickory Tree. The winner, Simply Super, had been keeping much better company. He had run in the Bashford Manor at Churchill Downs and another stake after that.
Yeah.
And this horse actually, was there for a pretty long way, faded late, but that was a decent effort, a nice step forward for this horse. But he's going to need his A game.
Yeah. All right. I guess covers that, right?
Unless you want to say something about the 3 who you had in 3rd.
Do I?
Well, you have him 3rd. Whether you want to say anything, I don't know.
I had to put some numbers down, right? I just think the race between the 6 and the 1. I don't really have any strong case for horse improving, unless he's just really going to freaking love the dirt more than the synthetic. And in the 3, Don't Obey My Space. There's your argument there.
All right, there you go.
Right.
So, all right, let's get on to the day 1 finale here at the Big T. Claiming 5, Never Win 2. Hey, we're going 1 mile and a 16th. 3 turns here at the Big T. My top choice was Scratch. That's the 3. Under Fire is out. I think that's the only scratch here.
Yes, correct.
But also my top choice. So I default into the 2, which is where you were all along.
All along, I went with the 2. Mr. Mosley, I mean, he pulled a mile upset, so to speak, at 2.5 to 1 almost. 2 an odds-on horse named Brown Delivers, who looked like he was going to go by him at Laurel. Granted, he had the inside, was aggressively sent by Rodriguez, but he's got enough early speed. Going this 3-turn mile here at Timonium, he's faster than Cairo Boogie earlier, definitely probably faster than Manklin Creek, and I think he's faster than Tyler Time early. He's definitely faster than Rock and Ron early, and so on and so forth. So I think he's going to be the first to maybe seize a pace advantage in the spot and try to reel off a couple in a row, or the Closaurus barn. Again, another horse running back quick. August 20 here, 6 days later, the 26th at Timonium.
Yeah, and that to me was the only sort of negative here. Bobby Closaurus, 0 for 7. On 1 to 7 days rest last few years, so that hasn't been a super positive. But everything about this horse is he's clearly coming in well. Ran a good one, as you say. Looks like the controlling speed. He and Brown Delivers were the only kind of real contenders in that maiden race, and they ran like it. They were 11 clear of everybody else. There was nobody else in the same zip code, so pretty good effort there. Actually, I used the 8. You used the 6.
Virginia
underneath.
Fulla. Yeah, Virginia Fulla, I looked at him. He's got some little, head case problems, if I recall, right? He's kind of doesn't want to go in the gate. If I remember correctly, he might even come out last in the post parade, that kind of horse. So if he can get his act together and run back to his best race, yeah, okay. But I went to the 6 Rock and Ron, who seems to be kind of like a mid-pack running horse, but honest horse. He's run 3 times. Third 9 times. Out of 39
Whichever
tries.
those numbers are.
Yeah. So just some of his way back races might get it done. He's running against Million. It's 5 back. Aftermath seems to be in okay form right now. Bakaneko used to run for a higher level. I'm seeing horses in there that are certainly a little bit better. I mean, that race behind Money in the Banksy, going way back to last year against non-winners at 2 nickels at Laurel, would probably put him over the top in the spot as well if Mr. Mosley doesn't show up. So there's the reason for the 6 in the mix there.
1 for 39, though. It's a little tough.
Well, that's what you got here. I mean,
it is.
I mean,
win
looking at the
two,
rest of
so.
the field, I can't get enthused about very much else in
no.
here. So it's suddenly looking a little bit better, judging my company lines.
All right. Anything else you want to say about today's card, Dave Rodman?
I do not have a
do
thing to
not.
say. Who's your best bet? That's what I want to know.
Well, I think my best bet is scratched.
Yeah, so was mine. So I'll have to come up with another one for you.
Yeah, we'll have to think on that. I really did like a couple of scratched horses in here. I got like 2 or 3 races where my top choice.
Well, I'll go with the Wolfman in the 7th race to try to upend Beverly Park, and there was a long shot mentioned. I'm trying to find him again. Royal Spy in the 3rd race, so maybe my long shot play, prize play. If you had to say, I have $20 and I want to bet 10 on each. So,
all right, it's. Yeah, I have to say I hadn't really thought through who my long shot and best bet would be, and I have to say that with all the scratches, the ones I would have used are out.
All right. Well, if one of my 2 selections wins, I'll buy you a slice of pickle pizza. How's that? And you have to eat it.
You're on.
All right.
All right, that's going to do it here for us on the Big T today. For Dave Rodman, I'm Frank Vespi. Good luck, everybody, on opening day of the Timonium 2022 meet.